Hi, I'm Chris Blum. I am one of the ministers here at Bhava, and I also am a sound bowl practitioner. You can learn more about my sound bowls at thespiritedsoul.org. And I'm just going to play a little mini sound bath for everybody today. So if you feel called, close your eyes. Just take a couple nice deep breaths in and I'll get started.
Hey, beautiful.
Good morning.
Good morning, my love.
How are you?
I am doing really well. How are you?
I'm happy to be here as always.
I'm happy you're here. Thank you for showing up and creating this sacred space today. Welcome everybody to the Bhava Spiritual Mission Sunday broadcast, our Living in Partnership with Spirit powwow digital meetup. So thrilled, so happy that you all are here, and we're going to be sharing the love, lots and lots and lots of love. Spirit was quite lyrical with me this morning. You saw that. It was almost poetic. I was like, oh. So before we dive into that, though, we are back after a 2-week hiatus. We just went, that's it. We're kind of done for a minute and plopped and rested for a couple of Sundays, and we're back and we're happy to be back. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being patient with us as we kind of go through our human experience. And but it's a new year. And, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's like there's such a collective energy because we're all focused on this newness. We really create this incredible, it doesn't really have anything to do with January 1st, but it's this collective energy of whoosh, okay, we get to, let's start over. Everybody is going, okay, let's start again. Let's pick ourselves up. Let's do this again. And I'm really feeling that energy. And I'm feeling that in this really cool, smooth forward momentum. I feel no rush. I just feel like, okay, all right, yes, let's do it. Let's pick ourselves up. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Bhava Spiritual Mission, if this is your first time tuning in, we are a digital church. We are here to help you connect with the infinite through developing your intuition, your channeling abilities, your energy healing abilities, bringing God through you in a way that makes sense and helping you build that platform to share your message if that's what you feel called to do. We do that through our Bhava Ministry program, where Yvonne and I are teachers, instructors in that capacity. So That is what we're here for. And Yvonne and I get together to share the message from Spirit. The format that we use for these Sunday broadcasts is one of us, so far usually me, but I'm about to make Yvonne do it one of these days. One of us will channel a message from Spirit, and then we'll share it out. And then what we do is we get together and we talk about it. So Yvonne has received the message already, and so she is going to expand on that. The reason this works this way is, none of us are here. We're here for the human experience, and the human experience is a limited experience. It's very much like our perception. And so Spirit comes through with these messages and uses our experience, our lens of perception, to give us the message in a way that we will understand it. But me and Yvonne have different life experiences. We have different perceptions. We were just talking about that backstage, how we're like both super ultra committed and here and in service of divine and really different, which is really, really cool. So Yvonne is going to expand on the message after I read it. And then what we want to do is have you join in and help us expand on this message. Because the analogy I always use is a patchwork quilt. I've got a piece, Yvonne has a piece, and you have a piece. And when we stitch all these pieces together, we have a broader, richer understanding of divine spirit and the message and what we're here for, and the next steps, the energies, how we're going to continue to expand within our human experience, in our divine experience. All right. So, Yvonne, let me bounce it over to you. Can you just introduce yourself? Tell people a little bit about you and who you are.
Yes, I'm Yvonne Marie. I live in Nevada City, California. I started working with Ingrid, what seems like a lifetime ago, but it's been
many, in fact.
Right, many lifetimes. Yeah, in this lifetime and the next. It's Bhava is just, I don't even know how to explain it. The container is pretty much, I feel like it's everything that you're missing in your worldview, your permanent, gosh, my words today, your human view, your understanding of who you are and how you want to walk your walk.
It is all about spiritual empowerment. We're about hooking in with the divine, finding that authentic core and living life from that authentic core. Thank you for that.
Stepping out of your old shoes and into some new ones.
Yeah. And I didn't really introduce myself, but I'm Ingrid. I founded the Bhava Spiritual Mission, but it's a community, it's a collective, it's a powerful container. And I just found it because Spirit said, do this. I'm like, are you kidding? What? Okay, did it and turned out really well. So when you listen to Spirit, things are going to go really well. On that note, what I would like to do is, speaking of listening to Spirit, because today's message is all about listening to Spirit. What I'd like to do is ground us in, and then I'm going to read the message from Spirit, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to feel into it, and we're going to expand on it. Are we ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Okay, let's do it. So those of you joining us right now live or on the replay, if you're able to, I'd like you to close your eyes with us and go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. Go in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe you'll feel warm or tingly. You'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core, and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra, and exhale into your root chakra. And I'd like to encourage you to keep your eyes closed and continue breathing deeply while you hear the message from Spirit. And try not to worry too much about remembering every single word, but just open yourself up to Holy Spirit and allow the message to sink deeply into your being. You can trust that you will recall details as you need to recall them. Today's message. Your heart will take you on great adventures. Follow your heart in all its nonsensical direction. While it can and does look like scattered chaos, the compass of your heart is deeply still and sure in its true north. You will never know the landscape until you fall in step with your heart. Your life is a great mapping of experience, relationship, and love, and your heart is the joyful, bumbling guide. Trust the fool anyway. You won't truly live any other way. Don't delay. Follow the pull. Dive into the opening. Drink from the well of heart surprises. God's gift for you is in the next heart step. Your purpose is found in the next beat. You save yourself and everyone you meet through crazy blind obedience to your heart of hearts. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Feel her, the swelling tides inside you, bubbling, receiving. Feel him, the jolt of piercing clarity and brave resolve. You are whole only in your heart, your infinite God divine. Why live another day any other way? Okay, let's take a deep breath. Go ahead and open your eyes if you want to. So lyrical, so poetic. I was like, well, this is different.
Yeah,
It's normally very kind of like a da 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 da. So that made me really happy. I want to know what that brings up for you, Yvonne.
Well, it's funny because what it brings up for me is how many people don't follow their heart and they follow the societal, quote unquote, dictation.
Right.
So you try and be this. Your goal is a 6-figure salary, or you want to be like, sorry, Kardashians.
You're always picking on them.
I'm always picking on them, I know. Or you want to show up like, your Kardashian image of who you think you should be. And that just takes us way out of the heart and adds a whole new level of chaos to who we're supposed to be or being.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because the message that came through from Spirit is we tend to think of following the heart as chaotic.
Yeah.
The heart doesn't show us everything. It doesn't show us the whole landscape. It goes, just trust me for one step. Come on, take one step with me. And we think we are keeping control of ourselves by hooking on to a plan for our life. Okay, I can see this, but that's the difference between the mind and the heart. The heart is just so present and in the moment and just doing this all the time, just bursts of inspiration. The mind is like, hold on. That's a lot. Yeah, but truly what happens is your life is chaos when you pull yourself out of your heart into your head and what you think should be the plan for your life. And, I want to talk about something else too. I want to bring up something else that came up when I was channeling this. I want to talk about how to know the difference when your heart is guiding you versus when your fear is guiding you, because we can get trapped and caught in so much conditioning over our lifetime. It can become very difficult for us to tell when we're being guided by the heart versus when our fear is pulling us.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's so I wrote down when you were talking, compartmentalize. So we compartmentalize so many areas of our life and try to be what we're supposed to be. Try to be what we think is expected of us, that trying to be.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of allowing yourself to expand from the heart, listen to what's going around you and being a little bit more discerning. I think that's what the heart allows us to do if we close in and hold that, because the mind it's not always connected to the heart in the best way. Sometimes we just shut that down, close the door, no thank you.
Yeah.
Especially those of us with, traumatic experiences or traumatic childhoods, we tend to really, trying to find the word here, we grasp for something that looks like normal.
Yeah.
And instead of us having an open-hearted ability to connect, we're so busy trying to create this facade of normalcy.
Yeah.
That we kind of check out of the heart, we check out of the soul, and we keep running with whatever patterns we see in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched that many, many times. And most people do it without any awareness of what they're doing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it goes way back. We're born into a world that prizes the intellect over the feeling, over the heart.
Right.
And so, especially people who are like smarties, smarty pants. They're like, they got big brains, It's like, we've talked about this before. It's like when you're really like a quick thinker and you learn to really depend on your mind, you can very easily lose connection with your heart and your intuition and really do a lot of second guessing yourself because you're like, well, but I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking it through. No,
no.
And also the fostering the faith to have patience. If you don't have clarity in the moment, be patient, have faith, wait for clarity. Wait for that heart to open up and to say this way. And the more still you are, the louder it gets until there's no questioning it. There's no ignoring it. When we're running around trying to figure it out, what is my heart telling me? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? That's not heart. You're pulling yourself out of your heart. Your heart's like, you can't hear me over all that mental noise.
Exactly. Well, I think plus we really succeed when we get our heart in tune with our body.
Totally.
Something you always tell me, how do you feel in your body?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your body. Can you imagine if we all listened to both our bodies and our hearts?
What?
Whoa, dog.
That's like 5D stuff you're talking about. That's crazy.
I know. Listen to the heart and the body, and then let this, figure out the works of how that's going to go for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, I love that you bring that up. It's like, I'm always trying to, in my own life and with people who I work with, build the mind-body connection.
Right.
Like we're so in our head. Okay. Where do you feel it in your body? And that tells you everything right there. And what I found, particularly just to kind of take this a step further, when we have like stories running in our head and we're running around, where do you feel it in your body? Where you feel it is really indicative of where you got your gunk stuck physically in your energetic body. But like, say, you feel something in your sacral. It's like, okay, we're going to work with some feminine energy. I got some trauma, some wounding around, maybe it's mom or, some figure like that. But when we are in a story or we're questioning, this is a really good exercise. When you're questioning, what should I do? What I can, keep going on this path, or I can choose a different path. And you kind of got a fork in the road. When you ask yourself, where do I feel this path in my body? If you feel it in your heart, that's a go.
Yeah. That's
a go. And the other thing that I found is, when you're feeling into what is my heart versus what is my fear, because it can be really hard to differentiate that, like we said, when we have a lot of conditioning running.
Yeah.
Your heart always feels like, or in my experience, my heart, and maybe yours feels different. You can tell me. When I'm in my heart and it's a yes, it feels like relief and open and joy. Whereas if I'm like going, okay, what about this direction? I feel tension, I feel fear, and I'm worrying about it, or like, how am I going to make that? That's not the heart way.
Yeah.
Let that go. Disentangle.
I love that you said that, because that's exactly it. That's the thing I've had to learn to do, is step out of, my mind, because we all know where my mind goes to great places, but
yeah, you have an incredible mind. And sorry, go ahead and finish, and then I'll say.
No, I was just thinking that the way our mind works sometimes, and we're trying to process things. I know for me, I try to process things in a way that keeps me, quote unquote, safe. And what I found is that blocks opportunity for digging more deeply into who I am.
Right.
But that quote unquote safe thing, it just doesn't exist. So
Right.
it just I feel like it shuts down your whole antenna to everything that's around you.
Yeah. When you're trying to feel safe.
Yeah, when you're trying to feel safe, or you're stuck in your mind and you're not allowing the mind to connect with the heart, with the body, because you're on a mission to do that thing. You're on a mission to get that promotion. You're on a mission to be the most perfect homeroom mom.
Right.
Whatever it is, whatever BS thing it is that you think you need to do to show up appropriately in life, that's not connected to your body and your heart. That's conditioning. That's outside of us. And
it's the world, right? Whether it's family or culture or pop culture, whatever it is, the world telling you what you need to look like and act like to be worthy of being in this world.
Oh gosh.
And anything you're tying your worth to is BS, and it's got
totally.
Yeah. It's just
we were talking about that earlier, about women's attachment to things in their closet and how emotional it is. And I think that tie is partially to how we feel about ourselves, our sense of self-worth. And this little suede skirt that you got in 1997 and you haven't worn in 10 years, what does that say to you? It takes you right out of your heart and into your mind of, but I wish I could. I want to fit back into that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, hanging on to identities.
Exactly.
I think that's a really good way to, also another way that we can differentiate the heart versus the ego or the mind. If we're creating an identity about it, it's not heart. There's fear in there. It's covering it up. It's trying to be safe. It's trying to be secure.
It's masking.
It's masking. Yeah. And that masking, that identity, you know that it's an identity when you can get triggered around.
Oh gosh. You've watched me crawl out of that, that whatever I was then. And I can get very triggered around. It used to sometimes take me 2 hours to get dressed because I knew that I was masking for the world.
Yeah.
I knew that. And it had to look appropriate. I had to have that power hippie look.
Power hippie look.
I love it.
Sorry, that's great. Okay, cool.
The power hippie look. But that was not a heart-based thing. That was a Kardashian thing.
Right.
That was me finding someone who...
We're picking on the Kardashians again.
I can't help it. I can't help it. They show themselves sitting in makeup chairs and the whole thing about... I just can't help it. It's easy. It's easy.
It's easy.
And they somehow think they'll forgive me.
I think so.
Yeah. But that's where we get into our ego and into our head, and we're completely disconnected with our identity and who we want to be.
Yeah.
Not just who we've created. And I think sometimes we don't even know that we've done this.
Oh, most of the time, I think we don't know that we've done this. And I like what you said about how when you were getting dressed, you knew you were masking. You became conscious of it and continued the behavior until you were able to not.
Right.
And I just want to say that's okay. What we're here for is to notice. What we're here for is to be like, oh, I'm out of my heart. Now I know I'm out of my heart. And that's like 99% of it right there is just going, oh, there's a story.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an identity. And then once you have that awareness, the next step is a commitment to deconstructing that and moving back into your heart. And when you make that commitment, you really don't have to do anything else. The universe does it for you. Yeah. It just opens doors and you go, I'll walk through that door and I'll walk through that door. It becomes very easy. The hardest part is the awareness, because our ego's like, no, we don't want it. No. We need some control here,
right?
Some security. But once you just stop taking your own BS too seriously and you just like, no, like everybody's got it. I got it. Yvonne's got it. We've all got it. Then you can open up and see it. And then the commitment comes very naturally, because I think the reason that we want to improve, for lack of a better word, although I don't like that word, I don't think we need to be improved upon, but I love the work that we do, the heart-centered work that we do, and finding our authentic core to show up and be of service, because it makes us happier.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's like, I want to be happy.
Right.
I want to be happy with myself. I want to be happy in the world. I want to be doing what I love, and I want to feel deeply rewarded. And in my experience, the only way there is through the heart.
Yeah.
And all of us are it's going to be peeling back layers to get to that heart space, and just be gentle and love yourself through it. Because we're all on a journey. I'm not done. Are you done?
No.
No.
Are you kidding me? No, that masking thing, I think, is really corrosive to our sense of well-being. Not only does it take us out of our heart space, it almost keeps us out of our heart space.
Absolutely. It puts it's like, I see it just like this shell.
Yeah,
Like
it's
an exoskeleton. And when we peel that exoskeleton off, it's like I see it as like peeling off a bug's exoskeleton, which is really gross visual, but that's what they show me. But it's like painful, you know? It's like, oh my God. But once it's off, you feel so free. Yeah. Renee has a good comment. One of our beautiful Bhava babes. So we need to discover our heart's mission, which is usually the opposite of the mind's mission. Opposite of the mind's mission. The opposite of the mind's mission. It's definitely not the mind's mission. That's interesting. I'm going to play with that.
I like it.
I'm going to play with that. Yeah. Nice, Renee.
I think our heart's mission is what we've come here to do, the work that we've come here to do. And sometimes we're completely unaware of it.
Oh, I know. But you know how you can find it? The easiest way to find it? It's what you love.
Right.
What you love to do, what you love to think about, where you love to spend all your time, where you go when you're just, alone. It's like what you think about, it's what you work on, it's what you play in. That's the heart's mission right there. It's really simple. But, the other thing we're really conditioned around, or at least certainly I feel like I have a lot of conditioning around this, is like, if you're not working hard, it's not worthwhile. Mm-hmm. So if you're in play and you're really enjoying your life, you don't belong here. Like, you haven't earned your place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I like that.
I do.
Yeah.
That's kind of, there's a real good and bad side of the way I chose to occupy my time. Instead of working, I became a stay-at-home mom. And once the kids are gone, you kind of you're stripped naked. You don't know what the hell to do with yourself.
Right.
But that was an ego identity I created to keep me safe.
Yeah.
And I dressed according to that ego identity. I did everything according to that ego identity.
Yeah.
And all it did was take me farther away from my heart, my mission.
Yes.
My identity, who I thought I was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And that to me is just something that we really need to sit down with and pull apart, that conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, I want to save, this is like a weird way to say it, but I feel like I want to save as many people as possible from living too much of their life in those ego identities, trapped in the mental story, what they've been told or what they have come to believe for one reason or another they need to do and be in order to be worthy to be on this planet, in this body on this planet. I have a similar mom identity story. I raised my son by myself until he was 14. And so I had a whole identity wrapped up in being not just a single mother, but a solo mother.
Oh,
right? Yeah. And, it was really hard on me. It was hard on my son. It was, we did it. And I'm actually proud of myself. I've come to be proud of myself for having gone through that process. But boy, I tell you, and then his father stepped up, came into the picture and really stepped up in a way that was just beautiful. And now my son is living with his father after not having a relationship with him for 14 years. And now he's living with him, and I'm not a single mom. I'm not a solo mom anymore. Like, I'm a weekend mom.
That's amazing, right?
But the ego identity dismantling was painful. Yeah. Even though being a single mom was really hard, even though neither my son and I were at our best and thriving without his dad in the picture, even though that identity around being a solo mom and dismantling that, tearing off that exoskeleton hurt like a mofo. It hurt. And once I released it, I was happier and my son was happier. Mm-hmm. And, he knows that, like, should he ever need a place, like, there's, mom's always going to be there. But what an amazing experience. Because I let go of that ego identity and went digging down into my heart, I feel like I was able to give him the gift of letting him go. Right. To live the life that is truly working for him right now instead of living with me and wanting to hang on to that because he's mine. Going with his dad where he's really happy and they're building this incredible relationship, and his dad is a kick-ass dude, and they're doing great. But he wouldn't have been able to have that had I clung to my ego identity and not gone in and done the deeper digging to be like, where does my heart really reside? My heart. And then through finding my heart space, which is where I'm at now, he's able to step into his heart space. I allow him to have that heart-based experience because I've given myself that heart-based experience by dismantling that identity. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. And I think it's also one of those things that if you were running in your head, no, I'm a good mom, I have to keep my son with me, to abandon him, let him go to his dad's, that would make me a bad mom.
Right. Whatever
all
story.
those stories that could be running. And, you know, when we drop into that heart space and feel that it's an opportunity, not just for him, but for you.
Totally.
You get that distance from your son, and then you get to come back and see him anew, and he gets to see the same thing in you. I don't know how that could be anything other than a win-win.
It is, yeah. It's our ego, our mind, our story, our desperation for some kind of security and structure that keeps us out of these incredible experiences. And I love that you said that. Just yesterday, I called him up. I'm like, I'm going to see you. I'm going to come pick you up. He goes, okay. And he was so excited to see me. He's 15, right? He's so excited to see me. He calls me while I'm on my way up there. He's like, hey, what you doing? You coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. And then you know what we did? We went into town and we did some, birthday shopping for grandma. And then we traipsed around Grass Valley for like 2 or 3 hours, just walking and laughing and cracking up and just having a really sweet friendship and connection that really wasn't possible when we were living together as he went to his teenage years, because it was just so much, and then with that distance, that separation and that heart space, and both of us just stepping into our heart focused life, letting each other go to do that. It's been a magical experience. It's been hard. The magic is just starting to shine through now, but it's pretty magical. It's pretty cool.
It is a beautiful thing to do. And it's hard to let our kids go no matter how old they are.
Yes.
But everybody in our little group knows that I still want to run in and rescue my daughter. But then I remember that I need to let her have her experience. I need to let her bounce from her mind to her heart until it gets uncomfortable in her body and she makes a different choice.
Yeah. Oh, you bring up such a good point. We don't know anybody else's heart except our own.
No.
We think we do, but we don't. And I love that. Like, let people have their experience. I started saying that a couple of years ago. I really got that from message from spirit. Like, you got to let people have their experience. Let them be where they are. And I would say it to my son occasionally. And then this was when he was like, maybe 12 or so. We're in the car and he says something to me like, oh, I want to do this, or something that was like, I was like, no, you're not going to do that. I'm your mother. I'm not gonna let you do that. And he goes, Mom, you just need to let me have my experience. I was like, oh, okay.
So he was paying attention all those times.
Oh, totally paying attention. And then yesterday he said, I don't believe in ghosts. I looked at him, he looked at me, and we both knew, yes, you do.
Right.
You know better. You've seen them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't know how any of us that have seen them or had such profound experiences, like you're laying in bed and all of a sudden someone starts talking to you. That was one of my first experiences. But yeah, how do you connect all this together if you're not willing to get out of your head, open your heart, let go of your conditioning, and allow everything to be real for a minute?
Yeah. And I'm just going to go back to take your sweet, sweet time.
Yeah.
Really, there's no rush. And the more you allow yourself to go slow, the faster it goes. The more you allow yourself to just be in it, the faster it goes.
Yeah, I love that.
True.
I think I spent my whole life trying to be normal, and there's no such thing for me. That would be so boring for me. To be quote unquote normal and not be aware of all the cool things that we can do when we're this connected to spirit.
Yeah.
It changes the way, not just the lens of perception that you have of the world, but it changes the way you exchange your energy with the world. That's been a beautiful thing for me, not only to experience, but to witness in other people. It's part of the reason why I'm so committed to Bhava. witnessing other people rip off that exoskeleton. You know, I have a bunch of them in my china cabinet.
The exoskeletons, yeah, right.
Yeah, I do. Well, 'cause
I have a bunch of exoskeletons in my closet. They're all hung up in a row, nice and neat.
Yeah, it's they're a beautiful thing to me. The way that the creature just sheds its old skin, and I feel like that's kind of what we're helping people do. Is shed their old skin, their own ideals, old ideals, things that don't serve them anymore.
Yeah.
And helping them see just a broader landscape.
Yeah.
Stepping out of that quote unquote normal and into your heart space.
And we're all so weird and wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, we're all so weird and wonderful and so unique. Ram Dass's quote about the trees, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something to the effect of, trees grow in all kinds of weird directions and we don't judge them for the direction they're growing in.
I love that. Right? We don't. No. They're all beautiful in any which way we look at them.
Let your freak flag fly. Because we need to see you. We need to find you, honey. Raise it up.
Yes. We need your individuality on full tap.
Yes,
wide open.
please. Yes. Individuality on full tap. Dang. That needs to be on a t-shirt, babe. We have so many t-shirt ideas. So many of them are like gone forever, but that's what we need to do.
We need to start writing them down.
Yeah. We need a scribe. We need a Bhava scribe.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
I think we each need one.
Each of us, like everybody needs their own scribe to follow them around and write down their great little downloads. Yeah,
exactly.
Lena jumped on to give us a really
Lena,
powerful comment. She's just she's glorious. She's another one of our Bhava babes. So powerful. She says, "Ooh, yeah. I feel that my heart's mission is to feel safe in my authenticity rather than my mind's mission to seek safety in conditioning and ego identity." Boom, baby. The mental stories are so deeply ingrained that living them feels comfortable and familiar. But living from your heart space brings harmony and joy. Seems like an uncomfortable shift worth making.
Bravo,
it is.
Lena.
And Lena is like in it to win it.
I know.
She
I
is
love
making
her.
that shift and it is fun to watch.
Okay.
That's great.
It's not more than fun. It is like a drip of like an IV drip of life force.
Juicy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Lena. I'm just, I'm loving you up.
Let's do that. We can love her up. We have to love everybody up. Renee has a good comment. We get trapped when we refuse to shed an outgrown identity, knowing in our hearts that it's not serving us, but the mind and ego wants to remain comfortable. Society wants us to remain small and quiet. Let's talk about that last bit. I like that. Society wants us to remain small and quiet. Society wants us to remain small and quiet. Let's feel into that for a minute, because I think that's really important to understand. And I don't really want to look at this from a like, you're trying to keep me down. I don't really think it's about that. I think there's I feel like I'm feeling into it. There's a strong collective energy of fear that we have been living in for a millennia. Okay. We are now moving out of that collective fear, and individually we are popping open and waking up to the energy of love, which is becoming the dominant energy on our planet since spring solstice 2020. That is when we shifted into the new paradigm. And I want to take a minute and talk about that new paradigm, because you're right, Renee. Society has wanted and still wants us to remain small and quiet, but it's not about like, keep the man down. It's about, oh, we're afraid and you need to be small so that I can feel comfortable. And then I need to be small so that you can feel comfortable, and just boom, 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 radiate it out through the entire collective, through our entire planet.
Right.
But that is changing. And that is why the individuals are showing up and popping awake and showing up in love. That is why more and more people are committed to stepping into their heart space. People like Lena and Renee are committed to stepping into their heart space, finding their authenticity and living fully in line, in partnership with spirit, in that state of love.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it again because spirit keeps banging on my head about this. Be patient with yourself.
Right.
Go slow. The slower and more patience you have, the faster it'll happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably part of the reason why I identify so much with, I hate to say this because I can't think of another word, disenfranchised people. I'd like to find a different phrase for that. But, one of the ways that I've found to stake my freak flag and let it fly in the wind is my love of transsexual women, watching what they go through, watching how brightly they shine when they step into that identity that feels true to their
Who
heart.
they are. Oh my God, what they have to go through.
Exactly.
Talk about peeling off some exoskeletons.
That was something that got into me when I was in my teens, and I watched a movie about someone who transitioned in probably, I want to say in the 50s.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was the time that I really felt like I was in a box and trying to be quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
But watching transsexual women, watching people who show up outside of the societal norm, which, there is no norm anymore, but people who show up looking like, oh my God, like they just got up and said, color me happy,
Yeah. Total shift. I'm
Total
with you.
shift.
I find that so inspiring. I find that so inspiring. Anybody who is able to step up and be like, I know it doesn't match your perception, but this is who I am. It doesn't even match the physical body, but this is who I am on the inside.
Right.
That takes it's such crazy courage. It's crazy courage. And I love it.
I have
it's so inspiring. Me too.
It totally is.
Me too.
I was thinking about how some of my early conditioning came on through high school. I was in high school in the 70s. Yes, I'm that old. And I was one of those hippie kids who would just, patch up their same pair of Levi's until they fell apart and couldn't tell whether my underwear was showing or not. I'd rip the lace off my curtains and sew them on the bottom of my bell bottoms. And then I'd go to school and get made fun of. So that was where make yourself smaller. Yeah. Conform. If you get picked on by a bully because of how you wear, make yourself smaller. Conform. Yeah. I love what, talking about the societal expectations, breaking out of that box. Yeah. Not caring what other people think about how you look.
Yeah. And here's the thing. When you stop caring about what other people think, people stop bothering you.
I know.
And you don't even show up on their radar to give a hard time to. It just, okay. It just goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like that collective fear, let's feel that for a moment. That is going away. That is diminishing on our planet rapidly. All right. And the more individuals, me and you, baby, who make the commitment to shift into their heart space and shift into love, the faster it will happen.
Absolutely.
The whole planet is shifting. It's an amazing time to be alive.
It really is. I've been watching that on Instagram. I think I've talked to you about this before. When I was a kid or when I was a teen, there wasn't a lot of help easily accessible for people to understand what was going on with their conditioning, some of the mental conditioning from family, all of that. And we have that now. We have that on Instagram. We have therapists who are sharing not only their stories, but their tools and how they broke out of that conditioning.
Yes.
That to me, for a kid who's having a hard time fitting in,
that's powerful.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It's life-changing. So
it is. It's
a
paradigm shifting.
Absolutely.
Baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. So how do you feel? I feel like we covered a lot of ground and I'm really
I know. Me too.
I'd like to, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like we wrapped it up.
I feel like we did too. What I'd like to do is read our message one more time because I find that it's really powerful to read in the beginning, talk about it, feel into it, and expand on it. And then when you hear it again, it's deeper. It goes in deeper. There's more layers to it. So let me go ahead and do that, huh?
Please.
All right. Your heart will take you on great adventures. Follow your heart in all its nonsensical directions. While it can and does look like scattered chaos, the compass of your heart is deeply still and sure in its true north. You will never know the landscape until you fall in step with your heart. Your life is a great mapping of experience, relationship, and love, and your heart is the joyful, bumbling guide. Trust the fool anyway. You won't truly live any other way. Don't delay. Follow the pull. Dive into the opening. Drink from the well of heart surprises. God's gift to you is in the next heart step. Your purpose is found in the next beat.
Mm.
You save yourself and everyone you meet through crazy, blind obedience to your heart of hearts. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Feel her, the swelling tides inside you, bubbling, receiving. Feel him, the jolt of piercing clarity and brave resolve. You are whole only in your heart. You are infinite, God, divine. Why live another day any other way? Why live another day any other way? Let's make that commitment today. Let's all of us jump in. And if you're listening, I want you to make that commitment with us. I'm making the commitment to follow my heart.
Me too.
I'm making my commitment to sit in my heart long enough to know, to have clarity, to understand where I need to go next, where I need to be, how I need to be in this moment. The heart only ever shares this moment. And I'd like to hear from us, like leave a comment. Are you committing? Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Yvonne?
Oh, I just thought of something else. And, really hearing your heart song instead of the mentaling your heart. Sometimes we trick each other. We trick ourselves.
Exactly. Yes.
We start mentaling what we feel and we get disconnected from what we feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think and like we said, your heart feels like relief.
Yes.
Joy. Oh, that's what it feels like.
Yes.
That's how you'll know it.
And that mentaling the heart feels like you're at the beginning of a roller coaster ride and you hate roller coasters.
Boom. Mic drop. On that note, yes, on that note, let me, I just want to make a couple of announcements. I want to talk again. The Bhava Spiritual Mission, just to recap, is a digital church. We are here to help you connect directly with the infinite through your intuition, through channeling, through energy healing. These are the super highways to God that we have discovered that we work on every day. We run a school which teaches you how to hone in on these abilities and how to live your life in partnership with spirit. We cover all the areas of life, and we're here to help you step up and be there's a word.
Being an ambassador.
That's the word I was looking for. That was exactly the word I was looking for, to be an ambassador for divine spirit, however that authentically shows up for you, by finding your authentic heart space, doing the deeper healing work with an incredible community and incredible one-on-one support with our mentors, and bringing that out into the world in a way that is joyful and fun and purpose-filled. It's a very, very, very cool gig.
I honestly think you sold us short there for a second, because one of the biggest things we do is help people break out of the story that's keeping them small.
Go into the heart.
Yeah.
Heart, and baby.
It's, I don't know how many times I've heard, well, I've been in therapy for 20 years, but I didn't really until I got to Bhava.
Same.
Yeah, we've heard that over and over.
Over and over again.
Because we have this loving space where we all show up, not to give our opinion about what you're doing, but just show love and support. That moves mountains. I mean, we've seen people change in just a few weeks, like drop stories they've held forever. And yeah, I'd like to put that first.
Yeah.
Because that's the most important thing we do.
I agree. Okay, thank you for the note.
You're welcome.
Noted. I will restructure that next time I talk about it. I think that's really good. That's why I love you, Yvonne. That's why
I love you.
So if you have found this broadcast helpful, if it's the message resonated with you and you know people who would find this helpful, please share our video.
Yes.
Give our pages a page on Facebook. We have a baby YouTube channel. We'd love to grow and make bigger. Grow it up, make it at least like teenager, right? Subscribe. And then, hit the see first notifications on these channels. So, you'll get notified when we go live. We do this every Sunday. It's true. We just had a 2-week hiatus, but we're back. So at least Yvonne and I are going to be on every Sunday, and occasionally we grab another Bhava babe to join us as well and have a 3-way powwow. But we're on and we're channeling a unique message every week, and we're talking about it, and we want to bring you on to help us better understand the message from spirit, and create this virtual sacred space, this community. If you have found this helpful, you can also donate to the Bhava Spiritual Mission. We are a church, so your donations are tax deductible. Just follow this link on the screen. It's also in the description of the video. You can do a one-time donation, or you can do a recurring donation every month. Every little bit helps us because we have hard costs that go into spreading the word.
Right.
But we're going to show up for it no matter what. If you can help us in any way, that would be super appreciated. If you're listening to us talk about our school, about our ministry, and you're thinking, oh my God, that sounds like me. That's what I need. Send me an email. I would love to have a conversation with you and see if this feels like a good fit. Our doors are open for membership. So give me a buzz, give me a shout out, and see if this makes sense to you. Did I miss anything, Yvonne?
I can't think of anything.
I think I covered it.
I know. It feels like this was easy today, huh?
It's always easy when it's aligned in the heart, and you're always easy to do this with.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Well, without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up, get back to your Sunday, go spread the love, just be in your heart. And what you're going to do is you're going to activate all the hearts around you. This is the big work. This is powerful. So thank you for showing up, creating this incredible sacred space with us. We love you, and we'll see you next week. And let's spread the word. Let's grow our community. Let's grow our sacred space, and let's really maximize the impact of divine spirit through us.
I just saw a big spider web around the whole globe. That's kind of what we're doing. We're creating that interconnected net. Yes, I love it.
I like it too.
Let's talk about that later.
I'll just okay. All right. Well, I love you madly, Yvonne, and thank you, everybody. I love you so much. You guys are great, wonderful, and amazing in every way. Bye, all.
Bye.